So, one daily trainer or a collection of shoes to rotate through? Which do you think is better for the average runner? How's it going, runners? My name is Justin Thompson. I'm your average running PT, and I help the average runner achieve their own personal elite status. If that's something you guys are into, go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the bell so you guys know when the next video comes out. So yeah, the question is, should you just wear one daily trainer? Or should you have a shoe rotation that you kind of run through so that you don't wear shoes out quicker? Or let's just talk about what are the actual benefits of a shoe rotation versus not. So let's go ahead and get the big question off the table. Do you need multiple shoes to go out and run? And the answer is no. Of course, all you need is one decent pair of shoes to get out on the road and start running. Now, if you want to go beyond just being a somewhat of a regular get out and run every now and then kind of a person, then it might be beneficial to you to go ahead and start thinking about some sort of shoe rotation. Now, that could be 2 shoes rotation, it could be 3, it could be 5. It really doesn't matter. But let's talk a little bit about the benefits of actually having a rotation of shoes that you can move through. So benefit number 1 of having a shoe rotation is that different shoes perform differently, and that's just a fact. And they're made of different materials, they're made for different purposes, and they perform better or worse in different types of runs. So for example, this is my Skechers Go Run Razor 3, and this is the Skechers Go Run Ride 8. Same brand, very different shoe. So this is a daily trainer. It's a lightweight daily trainer, so it's somewhere in the 8-ounce range. I haven't checked it lately, but it's somewhere in the 8-ounce range. This is a speed shoe, and it even tells you that on the side of the shoe. So this thing was designed to go fast, and it's reflected in its weight as well. It's somewhere around 6 ounces for a men's size 9. Now if I bring in another shoe, this is your Ultra Touring 4.5 Plush. So this one has a different shape to it, so it's designed for allowing the foot to move a little bit more naturally than, say, the Go Run Ride 8. Now, not only are different shoes designed for different purposes and perform better for different things, but benefit number 2 is they're actually going to work your feet and ankles and lower legs a little bit differently depending on how the shoe is actually made. So for example, let's look at that Ultra Touring 4.5 and look at that toe box. That really allows the feet and toes to splay out and move a little bit more naturally the way they would if you were just barefoot. Now, if you look at the Razor 3, that doesn't really happen. So this has a wider toe box. This comes almost to a point here at the top. Okay, so now this was designed so that you're really locked down throughout the entire foot. There's not a lot of movement going on, so that obviously allows you to run faster, especially if you have to make a turn or something like that. So, but the way that changes the way that your feet actually work is because whenever your toes are splayed out, those little intrinsic muscles inside of your feet will actually start to get stronger and work harder than if you're just bound down by this shoe and it doesn't allow the feet and toes to actually do the work that they were designed to do. Now, of course, you can't talk about making the feet work differently if you're not talking about the actual support that's in the shoe. So, you go and you talk about a neutral training shoe versus a stability shoe. So if you've got a stability shoe, then that really limits the amount of movement that can happen inside of your foot. And that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to prevent a lot of excess movement in your foot and ankle. Now, a neutral shoe is it makes it so that it hopefully moves somewhat neutral or natural, or allows the feet to move and twist in such a way that the foot's working pretty much normally, almost as if it was barefoot. Now, what are the benefits of having different shoes that allow the feet to work a little bit differently? Well, again, whenever you go and do certain types of runs, it may be beneficial to allow the feet to splay, or it might be beneficial to allow them to be a little bit more constricted so that you're not flopping around in the shoe. Also, our body craves variability. You know, if you sit and watch the same TV show over and over and over again, you're probably going to get tired of it. At least if you watch the same episode over and over and over again. Well, if you run in the same shoe over and over and over again, then your foot and your lower leg is going to get used to that, and it's not going to strengthen anything else other than those specific muscles that are working in that foot. And you can start to develop imbalances. Now, if you're switching back and forth between things, then you're going to be working the feet differently, and you're going to give your foot and your lower leg a more well-rounded strengthening stimulus than if you were just using one specific type of shoe. Now, it can also help with overtraining. So let's say you go out and you do a really hard workout in your speed shoe, and your muscles are really, really tired and worn out, and basically if you overwork them again, then you might be risking an injury. So in that case, it might be beneficial for you to wear a stability shoe on your next day's run, just to allow the muscles to recover and allow the foot to kind of lock down a little bit more so that it's not being overworked on that next run the next day. Also, it might be beneficial if you are doing a speed workout one day and the shoe that you are using for your speed workout has really minimal midsole, then you're going to be experiencing a lot more pounding. Then it might be beneficial on your next run to wear something that's got a little bit of a thicker midsole to protect the legs, protect the feet from a specific injury. Now let's go back to the question at the very beginning. Do you need a shoe rotation? And of course the answer is no. All you need is one pair of shoes to get outside and start running. So what would I recommend if you were only able to get one pair of shoes? Say it's for money reasons, or you just don't want to have a bunch of shoes to be thinking about all the time. And for me, I would recommend some kind of daily trainer, whether that's something like a Go Run Ride 8 or even an Ultratorin 4.5 Plush. Your main thing that you're going to be looking for if you are wearing one shoe is comfort. You're looking for something that's going to be comfortable and that's not going to cause you an injury if you are running in it. Now, I'm going to lean a little bit more in the direction of an Ultra because it's going to allow my foot to move as naturally as possible, and it's still going to give me some kind of a strength benefit because it allows my feet to splay and spread, and I actually have to use those intrinsic muscles inside of the feet in order to stabilize. If I were to just use the Skechers Go Run Ride 8, I would not be getting that same benefit. However, I would be getting some cushioning. So I think that you could do a Skechers Go Run Ride 8. However, when you're outside of running, I would wear something that allows your feet to act a little bit more naturally. Just when you're out walking around or doing normal things. So that's my take on just using one daily trainer versus using a shoe rotation. I think that using a shoe rotation is very beneficial. However, it is obviously not 100% necessary. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you do? Do you just use one specific shoe and that's it? Or do you use a shoe rotation that gives your feet and lower legs a little bit of a different stimulus whenever you train in different shoes? Alright guys, that's it for today. So go on out there, seek your elite, God bless, and I'll see you next time.